Hey, good morning, friends. Scott Brookins here. Hope you had a great weekend and having a great day today, or whenever you watch this. And so I wanted to share just kind of a fun story this morning of how allergies ruined my one day as a cowboy. And to do that, I gotta put on the hat. Okay, now this doesn't make me a cowboy because I'm not. I'm a city kid and have been all my life. And but growing up, when I was 4 to 7 years old, I wanted to be a cowboy, and so I wore the hat. I had the boots. I had the six guns, on a holster, and I would draw against Gunsmoke, Matt Dillon, and watched, Bonanza and Gunsmoke, and there was John Wayne movies and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and just that was a part of our culture, especially in TV and movies, but it was, what I played as a little kid with, a friend up the street, Jimmy, that, we played Army sometimes, but mainly it was Cowboys, and so when I was in high school, I was 14 or 15. We were living in the mountains at that point, and I was saving up money to buy some good football cleats. And these, the ones I wanted were about $30. Now that was back in 1974, 75-ish, and today that would be about 150 bucks. And so I was doing odd jobs around the house and whatever I could do to save up money to buy these shoes because I was needing to buy them on my own. And so my friend of mine, Mike, got us a one-day job on a ranch that would pay us $30 if we would help them bale hay. And so $30, that's what I needed for the football shoes. Perfect, right? And trouble was, living up in the mountains with all the pollen from the pine trees, I had allergies. Now, back then, we called everything, or at least I did, my limited knowledge, everything was hay fever. And so I was on a prescription drug for the hay fever, or whatever the allergy was. And so I thought, well, I'm good. I'll be fine. It's one day, $30 football shoes, right? That was my goal. That was my purpose. So our parents, one of us, dropped Mike and I off, and we worked at this ranch. And these guys were cowboys, and I went to high school with a lot of guys that were cowboys legitimately. Didn't just dress the part. This was before John Travolta and Urban Cowboy in the 80s. In fact, one of them, Kevin, was a rodeo guy all of his life and a real cowboy. And in our travels around America, we've met a lot of farmers and ranchers and just look up to them for what they provide for our country with food and the type of men and women that they are. So we get to this ranch, and it's an all-day thing. It's early, probably get there at 7:30, pack to lunch, and start baling hay. And this was hard work. Horses weren't around, but we had a pickup truck or some kind of flatbed truck, and our job was to help pick up the bales of hay, throw them on the truck, and then go into the barn and store them there. And so we start working, and not too long after getting started, my eyes are tearing up. They're crying, I'm crying all the time, and then my nose starts filling with stuff, and the allergies are just, it's bloating. And it's like, 8 o'clock. So I've only been doing this a half hour, an hour, and it's like, this is going to be a long day. And so, but what did I think about? Well, to get through this, I thought of $30 and football shoes. That was my purpose. But this was the most awful day to work. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Because I was miserable. The allergies were just terrible. I couldn't hardly see. I was crying all the time. I had a bandana. I was blowing my nose. I was wiping, all over the place to get through this day. And I remember the rancher saying, "Hey, do you want to leave? It's like, nope. I'll stick it out if you'll put up with me." And so I made it through that day and got the $30 and got my football shoes for football season for, next couple of years. but my goodness, I was miserable. And I've never had allergies like that again. Now, I haven't been on prescription in years, but in our travels, I've been to different parts of the world and our country, and same with our family, is that, different things affect us in different parts of the country. And so I understand what it's like to have miserable allergies. And it's this time of year, again, that at least here in Colorado, that they're starting to come out. The trees are budding, the pollen's coming, and so you're starting to feel the itchiness and crying and the runny nose, stuffy nose, and so it can be an awful time. And so I just want to encourage you to persevere through that. And in the last year, my wife and I, she's developed a little bit more allergies to the pollen, and we found a natural supplement. And if you'd want information on that, it's available worldwide at wholesale. Just give me a message and I'll give you that information. But it's helped us. It's eliminated any effects of the allergies as we've traveled, let alone here where we live in Colorado Springs. So I just wanted to kind of give you a funny story of surviving an awful day and my one chance to work on a ranch, because, that was my dream, and I still have a hat. I don't have boots anymore. But I sure admire ranchers and farmers that we've known and know, good friends of ours around the country. And so maybe today you can think of your allergies, and if you're looking for a solution, I can plug into what's worked for us and give you a lot of knowledge from guys that I've learned from. But also I want to just give a shout out to the unsung heroes, the ranchers and the farmers in America, especially, and also around the world, but especially in America, the people that day in and day out raise a lot of the food we eat and do it without anybody knowing that they do it. They do long hours, get up very early, stay up very late, hardworking people. And a shout out to all of our good friends that do that to help us and you survive. And so I hope you, hey Steve, good to see you. I hope you enjoy this message. I hope you're not suffering from allergies or do, but if you need some help or give me a message, but hopefully you won't suffer like I did back when I was younger. But I had a great time working on a ranch, even though it could have been better if I would have probably had better medicine or solutions to the allergies, or just probably shouldn't have done it in the first place. So I hope you have an amazing day and go inspire others to do the same. God bless.